Just give us a second. We're going to start the recording. Okay, we've started the recording, so let's get started. Hello, parents. Thank you so much for joining this meeting. We're just going to be going through the logistics for invitationals as the tournament is arising very quickly, and it's this weekend. So yeah. So the overview of our agenda for today is going through the competition details, reviewing the competition schedule, and then talking about build events, impound events, and then tips, and then we're going to have a Q&A session at the end if parents have any questions.
Okay, so talking about competition details. The competition is this Saturday on the 11th, and it's going to be happening in Bothell High School, and that's the address. And for the competition, the entirety of the competition, Odo will be on the Y block of the testing schedule.
Yeah, so these are the team numbers. Make sure your child knows these team numbers because they ask on the top of their test what team you're part of. And so Avogadro's B32, Oppenheimer's B33, Rosalind's 34, Rutherford's 35, and then Tesla's 36. So just make sure that your child always knows what team number theirs is.
I'm not able to hear anything. Is everybody else having this problem?
Hey, sorry, I just think that we lagged from our end. So,
Okay.
okay. Anyways, here's the competition schedule for this tournament. So basically, Odo, as mentioned earlier, is following the Y block. So the Y block is what we're going to be using for testing. And on the left here, you can see all the room numbers. And then over here is the timings. So Odo will be following the Y block. So make sure that you know the timings for your events. And for sustainable energy, the impounded knowledge test will be happening at 8:15. So make sure that you get the impound done before 8:15 because the knowledge test is at 8:15. So you'll have to go into the room 338 to impound it, and then the Y block test is in room 333.
Anushka, can I just quickly interrupt here?
Yeah, of
So
course.
I think just want to note that there's only three events that have impound. There's air trajectory, scrambler, and sustainable energy. Those are the only three things that need to be impounded. I think helicopter, mission possible, other build events do not need impound. Okay, so
Yeah.
just if you are doing air trajectory or scrambler or sustainable energy, one of the students from the team who's doing that event needs to be there, between 7:30 and 8 to turn in their device or their build.
Yeah, and we also have a slide about that.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you so much for pointing that out. Next slide. Yeah, okay. It's ironically the next slide. So impound events. Impound events are the builds as was mentioned. It needs to be submitted into the room before the testing period occurs. So air trajectory, scrambler, sustainable energy. For air trajectory, the impound is in the back gym. For scrambler, the impound is in the back gym too. And for sustainable energy, the impound is in room 338. So the block Y test is at 8:15 a.m. So make sure that everyone gets their impound done before needed in the morning, and make sure that everyone also has their wristbands before impounding, because if you don't have a wristband on you before you go to impound your device, it's they're not going to accept your impound, and you have chances of being disqualified too. So make sure that you meet up with your coach and get your wristband before you go impound your build. And after you impound your device in the morning, you'll have your build testing, which we'll talk about in the next slide. So build events, coaches of respective teams will communicate which block each build is testing in. So depending on which team you are, you'll be testing your build at a different time. So respective coaches of your team will be communicating that info with you. So here is the list of impound events and rooms and blocks that you can potentially be testing your build at. We also wanted to point out that the Codebusters test is block B. So that's from 10:05 to 10:55 a.m. So all kids who are testing for Codebusters will be taking the test then. So yeah.
Okay, so this is the timeline for the competition. So 7:20 to 8:30, arrive at Bothell High School, sign in, get settled, and then at 8:15, so sustainable energy is like a weird event. It has so basically it's part build and part written. So you have to take the written test at 8:15, and then there's impound at 8:50, which means all your builds have to be you have to give it to the supervisor before 8:50. And then there's block A, block B, block C, block D, and block E, and block F. So based on what events you get, you'll be put in a combination of 2, 3, or 4 of these blocks, and they will not coincide. So you must figure out what blocks your events are in and what time they are, so you know when to go to which events. At 4:30, there's awards ceremony, and then after that, everyone can leave.
Okay, so there are some ground rules as we're going to a competition in another school. So rule number 1 is do not cheat on the test. Odal can get disqualified, your team can get disqualified. I do not want to see any cheating. And it's not just about the teams getting disqualified, that's just academic dishonesty. That's bad for you and that's bad for everyone. I don't even want you to try. Uh, Rule number 2, listen to all head coaches and parent volunteers. Follow directions and don't make this hard for them. They are here for you. They are putting in their time and effort for you. So you show them your utmost respect. And I don't want to hear any arguing with them. You follow what they say. They are much more knowledgeable than you. So please listen to them. And they're just trying to help you. Rule number 3 is no arguing and fighting with supervisors over rules. Find a coach to talk on your behalf if you have an issue. Arguing and fighting with supervisors could get you disqualified, or you'll just get marked down. And there's usually no point in it because the rules that they set are concrete rules. You can't really bend them or break them. They will take your test away. Uh, Rule number 4, bring only what is listed for your event to the competition. Do not bring stuff that is not on the list. If you bring stuff that is not on the list, like let's say you're not allowed a calculator and you bring the calculator and you use it, you will get disqualified. So read the rules manual. 2024 to 2025 Science Olympiad Division B rules manual tells you exactly what you need to bring for each event and bring everything on that list. You will need what's on that list. Rule number 5, be on your best behavior and be respectful. Note that we are going to another school, Bothell High School. It's an invitational. They invited us. We are invited, and if we want to be invited again, we have to be on our best behavior and be respectful to all the teams there. Out of courtesy, they are inviting us and we want to go again. So please be on your best behavior and be respectful. Rule number 6 is pick up all your trash and don't lose anything. The chances are that if you lose anything, you're not gonna get it back. So keep track of your stuff. Pick up your trash. As I said earlier, we are in someone else's space, and dropping trash there for their janitor to clean up is not okay. And I do not want to see any trash left by our team on the floor. We want to be known as a good team so that we get invited to other schools as well. I hope these are all clear. The head coaches will probably re-emphasize this at the competition. Hammer this into your head because these are very important.
I would like to add one more thing. This is Rahul here. So yeah, I think being on our best behavior and no arguing and fighting with the event supervisors, that is paramount. If there is a disagreement, if a student feels that they were incorrectly marked or they were not allowed to do something, please bring it to attention of to me or Jason or or the head coach of your team, and then we will find a way to engage with the event organizers constructively, to resolve, rather than student or parents trying to talk to the event organizers and or the particular event supervisor about it. Okay, it is super important that you go through the head coaches and through the committee chairs. Thank you. Continue on. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, so the competition, you will need to bring certain things. You'll need to bring all your note sheets, your binders, whatever you need for your events. So it's in the rules manual. You should already know what you're bringing. And yeah, so there's stuff like safety drills, lab coats, calculators, binders, just whatever you need for the events. It's in the rules manual. Bring pencils that are sharpened. I would even bring a sharpener and an eraser. You can bring a pen, pens, like just bring more than you think you'll need. You definitely need a water bottle and some snacks as well as lunch because you're going to be there for like 9 hours, I think, because it's till 5 p.m. So you will need lunch and snacks. And then bring a jacket, warm clothes, just whatever you'll need normally, whatever kind of clothes, jacket you usually wear in the winter. And then, yeah, again, what you'll need for your events, your build and design lot. It's all in the rules manual. So if you want to double check what you'll need for your events, just check the rules manual again.
Okay, so for the night before, you should have printed your notes or like at least a day before, so probably like on Thursday. If you have like a binder, maybe even earlier, because there'll be a lot of notes. And if you have like
Sorry, can you interrupt? Can you move to the previous slides? I want to add something there. Yeah. So no, the next one. Yeah. So for the safety goggles and the lab coat, I think some team head coach have that from me last year, but I still have some of them. So I will bring the remaining safety goggles and lab coats to the Bothell High in the morning, so you can pick up if it's not picked already. On the snack and the lunch side, for the invitational, PTC will not reimburse the lunch. We do have the budget for the regional, but for the invitational, so you need to bring your own lunch, but you can organize with your head coach to see, not everyone bring their own lunch. Maybe some of them can share the lunch together and brought some pizza from Costco or whatever. So work with your head coach on those logistic details there. I will bring some water bottles, some snacks there, but definitely not enough for everybody. So you should get something as well. Yeah, but for the people already got the safety goggles or lab coats, remember to bring it to the event. Otherwise, you will get disqualified for that event, and we don't have enough for everyone because we have 5 teams. I only have like 6 or 7 on my garage, so it's not enough for everybody. So don't and for the all the head coach, please remind the people bring the safety goggles and lab coats. Okay.
Yeah, and also let's within our teams also we should share resources as well, right? Safety goggles and lab coats. If a team needs it and a particular team doesn't have any events that time block, let's feel free to share amongst each other. I think all the teams will be co-located in the cafeteria area, so we'll be pretty close to each other. And so if you need something, feel free to ask the other head coaches or other teams if they have something they can spare.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, going back to this, as I was saying about notes, a lot of the events are binder events, so it's good to have it printed at least today or maybe tomorrow because you're going to be using a lot of paper. But as a general rule, print it at least a day before, and if not, the day before the night before your competition is your last chance, because the competition starts early on Saturday, so you should not be printing that day, and there's a high chance you might just face some issues. Uh, you should also pack a bag of what to bring, of all those materials that we talked about in the last slide, since the venue is far and if you forget something, then that might be like a big problem. And also, you should go to sleep early, of course, because again, the competition is going to be the whole day. It's going to be stressful. So if you get some good sleep, then that'd be helpful. And yeah, essentially that's it.
Okay, yeah. So what to do on the morning of the invitational? Like Crochet said earlier, make sure you set an alarm and then do not ignore your alarm. It's happened so many times, like the invitations that I went to, that I set the alarm and then I ended up waking like half an hour later. So don't ignore your alarm. Have your parents set a backup alarm and everything. You don't want to be late. Make sure you have everything. You should have packed your bag like the night before. And so make sure you take your bag, you take all your pencils, erasers, and everything. Eat a heavy breakfast because you're not going to get lunch for a while. It really depends on your events. A lot of people have like events back to back in the morning, and so that leaves them not having time for like a snack break or something. And as like everyone knows, you need food to like make sure your brain works and you like do good at your events. So make sure to eat something before you leave. And then make sure you leave your house on time, right? You don't want to reach at like, if your event starts at 9, you don't want to reach at 9 o'clock exact. You want to reach at least 15 minutes before when your events start. If you have an impound event, reach at least 15 minutes before the impound time because it's a big school, it's hard to navigate. There could be traffic or you don't know what's going to happen, right? So just make sure you leave your house a little bit early so you can reach on time to the invitation.
Okay, that's mostly all of the content from our end for the invitationals. However, we wanted to just give a really short announcement. So, we've been conducting mentoring sessions throughout the beginning of the season till now. But after invitationals, we're probably planning to switch it to office hours instead. So it's going to become office hours so that if students have any questions, they're going to reach out to us and then we're going to set times with them and we're going to meet up with them and help them accordingly. It's not going to be like set every week mentoring sessions just because by this point, most of the kids understand and know what they're doing for their events. So we're gonna make it so that they can reach out to us and ask for help if needed. Also, we're gonna be opening it up for Q&A, so if everyone could raise their hands and start, we'll start the Q&A.
Before we go into Q&A, I do have a couple of things also I wanted to add. So let's make sure that either a coach from each team or another parent from that each team, maybe a parent of one of the students doing the impound is there in the morning at 7:30 or 7:40 latest, and so that they can collect. Each team will be given a packet with the wrist tags and name tags and stuff. So please make sure that every team has a representative there to collect it, and that representative can then hang around the oral tables in the cafeteria so that the students know to come to them first and grab their wristband before they can do anything. The students will need the wristband to do impound, to go to their events. Pretty much for anything related to the competition, they will need the wristband. So it is really important that the head coach or one of their delegates is there, throughout the day until every student has been taken care of. Also, it's important to have a coach or representative there throughout the day to make sure that the students are there and they know where to go, and to direct them, make sure they have everything they need and get them there. One thing related to this is I've been told that Team Avogadro, Usha Imani was the head coach, but because of work reasons, she's taking back role. She's not able to be there at a lot of the events because her work now involves travel and stuff. So I'm just saying this specifically to parents of Team Avogadro that it's really important. We need one or two parents to step up, and help, manage and run the event on the team. I think the heavy lifting for assigning events to teams and building the schedule has already been done for Avogadro, but it's still important for head coach to be there. So please reach out to Usha and if need be to me and Jason, if you are able to help in that role. I think I'm syncing up with you, Usha, later this evening. I'm not sure if she's able to be there on Saturday for a team avocado. Okay, that's all I had. So we can open it to Q&A unless, Jason, you have anything to add. Oh, actually, sorry, one other thing. This is for the head coaches. I know there's been some churn on the rosters a little bit for some of the teams. So if you do have an updated team roster, uh, if you wouldn't mind, please email me the roster tonight, and I will forward the updated roster to uh, to the organizers for the invitational. I know like some of the teams have had some last minute churn of students, so let's make sure we have the right students in the roster and they have signed the form. Okay, so that's all I have, so we can open it up to questions.
Yeah. Rahul, also, don't we need the signature from all the students if there are, like, say, I think we had gathered it, like, saying, I think for Bothell before, but if there are new students, I think new student need to sign them, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying is, I think the coaches have already been doing that behind the scenes. But if there's something that I don't know about, some new student has been added pretty recently or something, then at least let me know, give me a heads up. And if you have the student already signed the roster, then share that roster with me and I'll forward it on. If you don't have if you have a signature missing, I think it is okay. I can give the organizers a heads up, and the student can sign the roster on Saturday when they get there. I think that should be okay for one or two exceptions. All right, just let me know. It's really important for the head coaches to let me know if there is a particular case like that where a student signature is missing, so then I can communicate to the organizers, and then they can expect that the student will sign it there. Okay, thanks.
Okay, we'll be taking questions now. Shrevin, what is your question?
When we reach the school, where is there a place where we have to check in or something, or do we just straight go to our rooms?
Yes, you do have to check in with your head coach. Generally,
where?
yeah. So generally it'll be in the cafeteria. So there should be signs posted there that will direct you to the cafeteria. Typically, the cafeteria will have tables for each school, and each team will be labeled. And so you basically find either a head coach from your team or somebody else from Odell that can direct you. You need to get your wristband first, and that's the very first thing you need to do before you do anything else.
And so
Then you
after you
can,
get the
yeah, go ahead.
so after you get the wristband, you just go straight to your rooms if you have the first block.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
No, no,
Go
no.
to your-
I think the cafeteria area is our like a base. So basically, you check in and you wait there, and once you go to your time slot, like either your second period or third period, then you move to that room to do the competition. And if that period you are not doing any competition, you just wait at the cafeteria area in our base to you can have some food or relax. But basically only go to the room in that assigned period for your competition. Because this room is repeatedly used, the first period is for this kind of school, and the second is you cannot stay in that room for all the time.
Yeah, and also we don't want our school students hanging around in the corridors, where the events are being held outside those classrooms and things, right? So the gathering area is the cafeteria. And then if you do have a long break in between, I suppose it is okay for you to leave with your parent. Let's say if you're going, if you have a break for during lunchtime, you can go get lunch and come back. But please make sure if you're doing that you let your team's head coach know that you're doing that, and then when you will be back. And again, like everybody's mentioned before, plan on being back at least 15 minutes before, so that you can get prepared and go to your classroom for your next event.
Okay.
Next question,
Thank you.
Suya.
Okay, so I'm sorry if this is inconvenient, but I missed the first 10 minutes, so could I just have a brief summary of what we went over during that time?
So a recording will be sent out after the meeting, but basically we just went through overall competition details, and it's happening at Bothell High School this Saturday. That's basically the only thing that we went through in the first 10 minutes. But we'll be
Okay.
sending the recording out to you in the teams and to the parents too.
Thanks.
Mrs. Tina, I think you have your hand up.
Yes, I just wanted to ask, I have two events on the same time block.
Yep.
What do I do then?
Are you sure they're on the same event block?
It's the 8:30, the first one event block. I think I have potions and poisons and reach for the stars.
Okay, what
8:30?
team are you on?
Avogadro.
Okay. I think you should talk to your head coach because if you have two events that are on the same block, you're not going to be able to attend both for sure. There might have been some events assigning error or something like that. Yeah. Do you think
Do
you
you do
could call?
4? Oh, wait, sorry, go on.
No, you can take over.
Wait, do you do 4 events or 3 events?
I do 4 events.
What are your other 2 events?
Coinbusters and helicopter.
Okay, so we'd probably have to drop you out from one of the events because I double checked potions and poisons and reach for the stairs. Both of them do overlap for block Y at 9 a.m. So you guys would we'll talk to the head coach. You also I know the head coach for Avogadro is like there's like some stuff happening. So we'll like reach out to the coaches and if you can too, that would be great.
Yeah, I think this is something that
Yeah,
I
but
don't think we're going to be able to resolve for the invitational, but yeah, we will need to come up with a plan, post the invitational. I think I would suggest then maybe at least for the invitational, you choose between the two, reach for the stars and potions and poisons, choose the one which you want to do, and maybe see if there's some other student who's willing to step up for the other event. Ask in your team's channel, ask your parent to check in the team's channel if
yeah,
something
another
can be
problem.
done.
I'm still not in the Teams channel. I didn't get invited.
No, sorry, not team's channel. Sorry. On in your ask your parent to post in your team's WhatsApp group.
Yeah, it
Wait,
was just
what's your name again?
Kevin.
Are you not in the Teams channel?
Yeah, I'm not in the Teams channel.
What's your name?
Kevin,
Kevin.
and my last name is CUI.
Okay, we'll make sure to double check and add you in if you're not there. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Next person, Shreya, what's your question?
Okay, so I recently figured out that my metric mastery partner, she's not coming on Saturday.
Who's your partner for Metric Mastery?
Aishi?
Aishi, is she just not coming to Metric Mastery? Oh, okay. So I think that okay, here's what I would suggest. Metric Mastery isn't necessarily like an event where like you have to have 2 people. It's not like a lab or anything. Obviously, it's better if you have 2 people, but because this was like a really last minute like notice, I'd say you could either ask someone on your team who's free during the metric mastery blocks. So metric mastery testing is at 2:25 p.m. So if there's anyone else on your team who is free during that time period, they could just come and like try to help you to the best of their ability. If not, you might have to do it alone, which
Okay.
because this is an invitational tournament, it shouldn't be too bad just because metric mastery is a pretty short test too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can try.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
I strongly, sorry, Anushka, I strongly suggest, if you can talk, like before the metric mastery event, talk to your teammates and see if anybody can, is at all interested in trying it out, because this is an opportunity to try out the event. And if they really, the, so that way they get some exposure to it. Plus, it's always helpful to have a, second person there. Last year, I think we had some similar thing happened with one of our events where one student there was only one student at that was there for the event. So they just asked their friends, and one of the friends said, "Yes, I'll go come help you with the event."
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions? Joanna?
Can you send the like where do you see the logistics like update for like the schedule?
Uh, there's the manual for there's the competition logistics manual. It's somewhere in the general channel on Teams, but I can resend it in the chat right now if that
Okay,
would be
thank you.
helpful. Yeah. Next question, Adrita.
I'm in Codebusters, and for the schedule, it says like block A and block B and so on. So how do I know which block I am, like which timing?
Codebusters is block B, 10:05 to 10:50. I mean 10:05 to 10:55 a.m.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Sanchi.
I have 4 events, and like I think I changed because of technical things. But
Yeah.
I'm not I don't really know how to read the schedule because to me it's like really confusing. So I'm not really sure if the events are overlapping.
What are your events? Could you tell me?
My events are meteorology, scrambler, um, road scholar, and anatomy and physiology.
Meteorology, meteorology, road scholar, and anatomy and physiology, none of them overlap. And your scrambler testing shouldn't overlap with your events either. But I'd say what team are you on again? Rosalind, right?
Rosalind.
Yeah, so I'd say double check with your Rosalind head coach and make sure that your scrambler testing does not overlap with it just
Yeah.
because it might overlap, but I don't think it should.
Can I request all the head coaches to actually resend their team specific schedule, with the student names clearly listed to their WhatsApp channel, just so that it's refreshed on everybody's mind, and the parents can share that with the student as well.
Yeah, that would be really helpful for the students too, so that they can, take a look and know what time their build events are at and make sure that there's no overlaps happening either.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, wait. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. So
No,
sorry.
I have been made aware of one more overlap for Oppenheimer.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to resolve that with the head coach and the organizers and see if we can get a different time slot for Tower.
Oh, okay, yeah, sounds good. I think tower can be like, scheduled in from block A to like whatever, so like that should be
Yeah. So
feasible
I'll
too.
work with the head coach there and make sure, and then try to get them a different slot for Tower.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Priya, I'm not sure who. Yeah, what's your question?
Yeah, hi. My question is in the chat as well. So,
Oh,
build event mission possible is at what time?
uh, it depends on what what team your student is on. What team is
Tesla.
your Tesla? The coaches, I think, of Tesla and all the teams should have communicated directly with the students as to what time the build block is at for them.
Is Neeta or Ujjwala on the call? Okay, never mind. I will ask the head coaches to send out an update schedule again in
Okay.
your WhatsApp group. Yeah.
Okay. Adrita, do you have another question?
Yeah, so my team Avocado doesn't have like a head coach. So like who should I contact on the day?
Either contact the overall head coaches, so Mr. Hong or Mr. Rahul, right?
Yeah. I think we are trying to find another alternate parent to step up. But if not, at least for the event, it'll be Jason or me, that'll help Team Avocado.
Okay, and
Miss-
I have another question. So
Yeah, all good. Go ahead.
what block is Scrambler?
Is this again for Team Avogadro?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me dig up the Avogadro schedule that Usha shared with me, and I will get that posted in the Avogadro uh, WhatsApp group. Maybe if I'm not in that WhatsApp group. If one of the parents can pull me in, then I can also help them.
Okay, thanks.
Does anyone have any questions?
I have a question for Rahul, Uncle.
Sure, go ahead.
So would just like a parent that's coming to the invitationals, would they be able to like, if they knew enough about what's going on, would they be able to like step in as head coach, like an interim substitute head coach for the day?
Yes, yeah. And then I think between me and Jason, we will be there to kind of help them through it.
Yeah, so any of the parents that are here, we would really, really appreciate if your child is on Team Avogadro and you're just coming with them to like provide lunch and just help them through the whole day. If you're there, it would be really helpful for the entire Odo school, and we would greatly appreciate it if you could just substitute as a head coach for one day. Um, Mr. Hong and Rahul Uncle will walk you through it, and I don't think it should be too complicated, but we're really desperate for a head coach for Avogadro right now, and they're having some problems. So if you're just coming to the invitational and you're gonna be there with your kid, just please try to come sub for Avogadro.
Yeah, and even if you can do the whole day, if maybe two parents can, do half day each or something, that might also work, right? That maybe one parent who's bringing kid for impound in the morning can stay in the morning for a couple of hours, and then another parent from Team Avogadro can take over. That would be helpful. If somebody can get me added to the Avogadro WhatsApp channel, and then parents can discuss, I can kind of help guide them through this too.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Yeah, Arshia?
For Scrambler, do we have to bring the egg?
I'm not doing Scrambler. Does anyone know how to answer that question?
Anusha or some
I think if you read the rules, it should be they provide the egg. The organizer will provide the egg. At least it's written on the guideline, because it need to be the raw egg. If you
So for Team Avogadro, I'm not on that team, but I had a question from someone who had to leave. Since they don't have head coaches, how are they supposed to know what block they're supposed to be for a build event like Tower?
Is it the same for all teams? Rahul Uncle, do you know how to answer that?
No, it's not. I think all the head coaches chose the time blocks, when the spreadsheet was opened up by the organizers. Subsequently, I think the head coaches put together the schedule for their team, and they should have shared it already. Is there a particular team that doesn't have a schedule shared besides Avogadro, or is it just Avogadro we're talking about?
I think it's just that one, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I think I have access to the Avogadro schedule. Let me pull that up. Let me just share it here, and then hopefully I can also share it in the WhatsApp channel when I have it. Give me a minute. I'll try to pull it up.
Yeah. If no one else has any questions in the meanwhile, from the mentors' behalf, we just wanted to say that thank you so much for joining the meeting. And if anyone does have any questions, oh wait, yeah, if anyone does have any questions about notes or they need help or they need any last minute insights for their event, please feel free to contact your mentors for your specific event. all of us are here to help, and we can help you out if any help is required. If you guys want us to check your notes last minute or whatnot, we can help you no matter whatever the situation is. Avery?
Hi, sorry, this is Avery's mom. Just a quick
Oh,
question.
yeah.
If 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 we can attend all our timings for all the events we're signed up for that Avery signed up for, but he has something that he has to go for right after, is it okay to leave once he's done?
Yeah, that's totally fine. It's totally fine to leave once you're done competing in all your events. And for instance, if you win any awards, if he wins any awards or anything, the head coaches or like a student on the team will collect it and give it to him at school like the next day. So it's all good.
Thank you.
Shravan?
Uh, like, if we need any help, who should we contact? Like, if we need any help with our notes or something.
Your
You should
mentors?
contact your mentors for your specific events. Which events do you need help on?
I mean, like, I'm a bit confused about the Reach for the Stars.
Okay, so you'd reach out to your Reach for the Stars mentors. So that's Vihan.
Okay.
And yeah, reach out to Vihan and he'll help you out. And Sankalp. Vihan and Sankalp.
Okay, thank you.
Surya?
What block is helicopter? I'm in Roseland.
Rahul uncle, again, I don't have the schedule put out. If you could answer that.
Oh.
I think the Rosalind coaches have that. I don't have Rosalind schedule. Are the Rosalind coaches online here?
Yeah, I want you to check the schedule. But I can follow up with Sura's parents offline.
Okay, thanks, Win. Yeah.
Avery, do you still have a question?
No, sorry, I forgot to lower my hand.
Okay. Sahid, do you have a question?
Oh yeah. So for sustainable energy, will the supervisors provide the team with materials?
For sustainable energy?
Yeah.
Can the mentors for sustainable energy answer this question, please?
I'm not entirely sure, but as I said before, you can check the rules manual. Everything is loud and clear there. It tells you exactly what you need to bring and exactly what will be provided. So that specific question, I'm sure it's there on the rules manual. If you don't have the rules manual, I think it's been posted in the general channel at least once, and all your mentors have talked about it and shown it to you in the mentoring sessions.
Okay.
If no one else has any questions, we can end the meeting. Any additional questions, you can email to autosilementoring@gmail.com, and also Rahul Uncle's email and Mr. Hong's email, and obviously your head coaches.
Yeah, thank you so much, parents and students, for taking the time to join this meeting. We really appreciate it. Good luck, everyone competing this weekend. We're so proud of your progress that you've made so far, and we hope that you all have a really fun time at Invitationals this weekend. Make sure to have lots of fun and manage your time wisely in each of your events because you get only like an hour for each events to test. So yeah, have lots of fun and good luck. We're rooting for you. The high schoolers are rooting for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah.